let's talk about Shining SARC in Genesys.
First ball.
That destruction.
Let's call Garrett.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another Yugi Bros video. We've been trying to do some more Genesys content just because it is a very popular format and people seem to be really enjoying it. And so we've been testing out lots of decks. I know Chris is on like his second or third deck, and I still haven't found that deck I really want to, main and put some time into, but this is a deck that I really enjoyed in Advanced, and it seemed a little too weak to thrive in Advanced, but honestly in Genesys it has like no points, and all the cards that go along with it are very low in points. So you're running tons of hand traps, floodgates, counter traps, like all this stuff. It's pretty crazy. Before we hop into the deck profile though, guys, we are so close to 1,000 subscribers. Please hit that subscribe button, like this video, comment down below, because we are planning on opening 1,000 packs once we hit 1,000 subscribers. And so we just want to do that because we know that'll be fun to do. We want you to be able to see it, enjoy it with us. We're so grateful for you guys, and maybe we'll even do a giveaway too. We'll have to see. But let's look at the deck. So, of course, as you're building this deck, there are some things that are very standard that you would think like, duh, no matter what you play in it. For example, 3 Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice. This card is broken, a free inherent summon with a discard. This plus any of the silent monsters is a turbo Chaos Angel, which is crazy in Genesys format. And then when the new Dark Magician support comes out in Genesys, it'll be fantastic too, because this literally just contact fuses into that new one, and then you can get a fusion. Probably not Dragoon, because that's 100 points, but a different fusion. That's pretty good. Then we have our normals, Gadget Trio. We don't love this card, but it is a starter. You have to play it. 3 starters there to search out. And thankfully, Genesys format, there's still some really broken decks, but it is a little slower, and so it's okay if you have to burn your normal summon. And then we have 1 Swordsman and 2 Zero. Zero is really good in this format, just because that spell trap negate. Swordsman Zero is okay, that targeting negate, but I think this is fine to play, just using Ties That Bind to get there, or doing Gandora something after. So there are times like Valor or Imperm or any of those is like a good point to use it. And then we are running 1 Dark Magician, the Magician of Black Magic, and then 2 Gandora. Usually you'd run probably 1 Gandora, but like I said, because the format is a little slower, 2 of them is totally fine. In Dark Magician 2, honestly, like you're not even trying to fuse in this kind of build. You're trying to get that trap set. And even too, there's a lot of different traps you could do, or spells. You could even do a bond between teacher and student, because Dark Magician Girl, her name becomes that in the grave, and then Dark Magician on the field engrave as well. So you could special it out, and then you could set any one of those spells or traps that go along with it. And so this is where it is pretty crazy, because like I said, the Shining SARC cards are like no points. So that means you get a load up on stuff with points. So we have 3 Crow, which is like a Genesys staple at this point. No points, still no points, not sure why. Because getting rid of stuff into banishment in this format is really good. 3 Droll, which this card is cracked in this format. Like, I would say this card is better than Ash. Like, Ash is still really good and will stop a lot of decks, but Droll really, like, people don't have a way to play around Droll, and a lot of people aren't playing Cross Out or Called By or things like that. And of course, 3 Valor, because once again, the negates. And then 3 Ghost Ogre. Ghost Ogre is very good in this format, just because you don't have links to link off bodies. And so if you get rid of 1 body, or you get rid of a field spell or continuous spell trap, etc., like, it's such a great pop to do. So 12 hand traps, which is pretty good in Genesys format. Then we have 2 Ties That Bind. Usually you play this at 1, but because this is Genesys, like I said, it's slower. This is a great card to set up negates and things. Then we have 3 Shining SARC, of course, maximize that starter, and also, this is also very good because it can't be destroyed by monster effects. And people are playing a lot of backdoor removal like Cosmic Cyclone, Mystical Space Typhoon, just because of the speed of the format. But this is still very good, just because if there is a deck that centers around monster pops. Then we have 3 Future Silence, the main starter of the deck, like spell starter, I would say. Obviously, quick play, you can activate it during your draw phase, which is fantastic. So to get Dark Magician Girl, you can just do this, get there, avoid Droll. And so very good in that aspect to be able to do that. 1 turn silence, crazy Omni monster negate, no matter where the monster is. It boosts your monster, it's a monster negate, then also ends the battle phase. So it's like this deck doesn't have tons of crazy interruptions set up, but you can just live pretty long and then take advantage the next turn, especially with Gandora and other stuff. Then we are running 3 Tachyon because this is another Genesys staple. Because you can search out Gadget Trio or any of the silent monsters, and so it's kind of just like because you can, not even like, oh, you have to play this card. So it is good and it has its uses, but really it's just because it's like, why not? Once again, 0 points for whatever reason. Dimensional Fissure. This deck loves banishing cards. That's how it thrives. In advanced format, I would play 3 Pot of Desires, Pot of Extravagance, all the different kind of pots, just because you want to load up that grave so you can OTK with Gandora. And then we are playing 1 of each trap, both very good because they're both pops, both removal, and both just thrive with your bodies on board. So like in advance, these aren't that great, but they're both searchable. Both very capable, because the thing is too, like if you have gadgets on field, you have Dark Magician on field, and you Gandora during your own turn going first, you get to set both of these interruptions, and yeah, it's fantastic. Then going to the extra deck is kind of a hodgepodge, just because like there's no links, and so really like there's not a lot of XC summoning with this deck, but there's still stuff. Like I said, this deck is Turbo Chaos Angel. If you open any of the silent cards, Silent Magician, Silent Swordsman, and Dark Magician Girl, inherent summon, silent, and then literally just immediately into Chaos Angel, no effects. I actually did that against Drytron. They had a full board, like the big guy and then the other one, and I just made Chaos Angel. I banished the big guy, and then I swung over the other one, cleared their board, main 2, started playing. Then Typhon 2, because we have the points, because why not play Typhon? Then we have Goblin Crazy Beast, level 6s. I used to play the Skull Archfiend in this, but it's just really not a great card, especially going first and going second, it's super weak. You don't ever want that to be your normal summon. But still, like if you get one of your silents up to a level 6 combined with Dark Magician Girl, you can make that. It is really good for some removal. Then Goblin Bikers, Gone Bonkers. This is a fantastic card just for attaching and detaching and all that stuff. So I honestly really like these cards just for those niche situations. Then 1 Jinzo Laird, another level 6. This card is super situational. I don't think there's ever a time where I'd be like, oh, I have to make this, just, you know, if you can. Tachyon targets, 104 Masquerade, and then triple Giant Hand. I'll show you one in a second. There's a reason why a lot of these are maxed out, and that's because of the extra deck. And then Ripplebird, if I ever have 2 level 1s on the field, because why not? I mean, it's a funny card. I actually have grown to really like it just because I didn't realize it was not once per turn. And so you can shift 2 monsters from defense and attack, etc., or if they're face down. So it has its niche uses. I do like the card. I used to absolutely hate the card when I would pull it when I was opening packs, but now I'm a big fan, ironically. And then going into the side deck, because we have the space, more hand traps. We got 2 Nibs. This is very situational depending on the deck you're playing. There's some decks in Genesys that summon like 2 monsters and cool pass. But there's stuff like Dragon Rulers where they're gonna spam out bodies, or others. And so never a bad idea to throw in a Nib just because, like I said, you have the space. Then Dark Ruler No More, a 0 points cost, another staple of Genesys. Literally just can really set up going second, especially just drop this Shining SARC, get Gandora, pop and send everything, just wiping their entire board. And then this is why we're playing triple names in the extra deck, just because triple Gordion Slicer, this card is crazy removal, can't be negated, and the only way to really do it is avoid. And when links are a thing, like it's easier to avoid, like IP or stuff like that. But like now, Gordion Slicer is harder to negate, and it's just like we don't really need our extra deck. So we can easily send 12 cards to get rid of 2 things, and then we'll have spare from hand. Once again, we want cards in banishment. And then 1 Ascension, just more starters. I mean, Joel is super prevalent, and so I wouldn't always love to, but like you have the space. Once again, a lot of this is really flexible. This is just stuff that's free points, stuff like that. But and then 3 MST, like I said, some spell trap removal in this format is really strong, especially with decks like Apophis. And so being able to just get rid of that is really important. And then 3 Iron Thunder, some more Genesys staples, and they did give it points. It used to be free, and that's why it was a staple, but I still feel like it's a staple just because it's weaker. Solemn Judgment, barely any points, you know. Once again, it's just because we have the space, so why not? But I really like this deck in a lower powered format, and it can do a lot of really cool things. And it is really OTK, but it is kind of cheesy with all the banishing. But I mean, we're gonna do what we can to keep up. But I really like the deck. I think it has a lot of potential in Genesys. Let me know down below what you would change, what you like about it, or really if it's even worth playing. But appreciate you guys, and like I said, make sure to subscribe so we can hit those 1,000 subscribers, and we'll see you on the next one.